Inside a cube filled with nutrient-rich liquid, a developing embryo is seen. Not far from the cube, there is a robotic nanny who takes care of it and carefully monitors the health of the fetus. This is not a normal environment for an embryo to grow. This embryo is contained in a womb that is completely man-made, and the babysitter robot that cares for it is driven by AI or artificial intelligence. According to scientists at the Suzhou Institute of Biomedical Engineering and Technology, this breakthrough in the future will facilitate the development of the fetus to the baby and eliminate the need for pregnancy. Artificial wombs and fetal nurse robots are also claimed to increase the safety of developing embryos. Quoted from IFL Science, this machine has been tested to treat mouse fetuses, and the process is described in their peer-reviewed study published in the Journal of Biomedical Engineering.
All right. So let me point out a few things that I believe would be wrong with them doing this if they can actually do it. I don't think they can, because they already grew a lamb in a artificial womb, and the lamb lasted, I think, maybe 24 hours or 48 hours and then died. There's a lot of elements that science is missing when it comes to a woman carrying a fetus. Okay, there's a lot of genetic material that is going to be absent in one of those bio spheres that the fetus is going to be baked in. I don't even know what the word, because it's not being nurtured in the womb. Okay, it's not. There's things that a fetus needs from the mother. Now, are all women suitable for carrying babies? Probably not. Are all women going to nurture their child prior to coming out as well as coming out of their bodies? Probably not. However, the void of the human element for a fetus would be a detriment. Okay? Now, I know that you know, men love to create these scientific things and think that there's going to be a good outcome, but they don't have the foresight to see the other aspects of creation. They don't have the foresight to see what effects or what ill effects would take place in the psyche of an unborn child. There's so many things that the unborn child relates and bounces off on a cellular level between the mother and the fetus that science cannot comprehend. Okay? So they're saying that there's a big decline in the population, human population, and I get it, because a lot of it is social programming, a lot of it is economic programming, and it's causing people not to want to have children, men and women. Don't blame it just on women, but men and women are choosing not to procreate. Okay. And it has a lot to do with the social climate of the world. It has a lot to do with the economic climate of the world. And people don't take into account that. You know what I mean? But they think that they can. And another thing I can see going left with even if they can do it. I don't think they can do it. But even if they could do it, let's say that the fetus survives and it grows up to be a child, right? So basically they're gonna be able to program who can have children and who cannot have children. So if they want to racially exclude a certain demographic of people from having children, they're going to do it. We live in a racist society, okay, on multiple levels. It doesn't matter from what country you live. Each country has their own kind of social hierarchy, and I don't want to get into the whole aspect of how bad it can get when it comes to genetically programming children, unborn fetuses and stuff, but it will happen. Let me just say that. We already have corruption on so many levels concerning the world, and don't think that even if the science could get to where they want to be when it comes to these these birthing pods or these fake uteruses, don't think they wouldn't try it. They're going to try it. They're going to try it. But there's so many problems that can happen. What type of human being, genetically modified human being, do you think is going to come out of one of those pods that has no kind of, doesn't hear a mother's voice, doesn't interact on a cellular level, which all human or animal socializes first in the womb with the parent. And I mean, I'm going to tell you how much I know that this is a very patriarchal thing to do. And it's not the first time. Biblically, if you want to talk about the Bible, it talks about in Genesis chapter 1, the creation of the divine creator and that creation being good. And then you have in Genesis chapter 2, where it talks about Adam took on a cellular level, his God took from his rib and created. But we already know that if it's a male, if Adam was a man or a male, his offspring would be a male. It wouldn't have even been a female. Wouldn't have even been a woman. It would have been a male, because the genetic material from his rib cannot produce a woman. If anybody wants to actually break that science down. But people are thinking this hokey shit from the Bible. No, it's not hokey. Like, this shit's been tried before. Yeah, there's gonna be, what type of human being do you think that this person would be coming out of an artificial womb? For mental state and a mental growth, for that child, what do you think that child will develop to be? People don't think through all these things that they want to create. And they give no reverence back to the original creator. They give no reverence back to what put them on the face of this earth in the first place, to be able to create those type of things. And let's be honest, science cannot create, absolutely cannot create without a woman's cell. They cannot create without a woman's egg. They cannot create anything without a woman, which is why that they have been harvesting eggs from women for more than 4 decades. And continue to do so. Because don't you know, if they could actually create an egg from a woman's ovaries, don't you think they would have already done that out of thin air? Don't you think they would have done that? Don't you think that they wouldn't have been trying to harvest eggs for all this time from women? Anyways, let's see how this goes with what they think they're trying to do.